Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruth Gital, and if it's your first time here, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys for always watching my videos. Yeah, I know I seems a little bored. It's an afternoon and it's kind of boring. Anyway, I'm just in the house and I thought of doing a story time. So I'm going to do story time today. Yeah, and my story is about how I almost died, guys. Yes, I almost died. Thank God I didn't. So yeah, it was back in the day. I think I was in high school. I've actually just remembered this actually happened to me recently. I guess those memories, you know, when you have like tragic situation happening to you and then like you forget it, you put it back in your mind and you forget. I don't know how it's called. There's a name for that thing where you like forget some, like if you have a traumatic, like if you have a traumatic situation happen to you and then you like forget because it was traumatic, I think. So I actually forgot that this actually happened to me. And it was back then. I was in high school. I recently just remembered that memory, just came running to my head recently. I didn't even, I guess I had pushed the memory back in my mind. I didn't remember that this actually happened to me. So I thought, yeah, why not share with people? So yeah, this happened when I was in high school, as I said. My last story time, I told you guys we were brought up by our grandmother because mom, she doesn't live in Kenya, so we were brought up by our grandmother in the village. Yeah, so then it was like 2000 and okay, I won't say the year but it was, I was in high school. I remember I was in high school and I had just come from I think it was midterm. It was on holiday. It was on a midterm, I think. So we were just at home and it was me. You know how schools in Kenya, some you go like this week on midterm, the other schools they go on the next week on midterm, on the previous one, like that. But me, I remember I was the only one on midterm. My cousins and my sisters, they had not come for midterm yet. So I was like the only one at home with my grandmother. So there was this time, I was in Form 2 then, I remember, I was in Form 2. So there was this day that my grandmother, you know, in the village, those who live in Kenya, in villages, you like, you come from one ridge and you go to another ridge, like that. So we used to live in one ridge, and then where the two ridges meet, in there in the valley, there is a river, right? I hope you guys are getting what I'm trying to say. So I was coming from our ridge, I was going to the other ridge, because here in between the two ridges there was a river, and people from that ridge, they used to plant you know how guys plant vegetables along the river, because it's always wet and all that, and they can actually easily get water and irrigate their veggies and all that. So I was coming from my ridge going to the other ridge, because there was a guy there who used to plant they're called what, kales and spinach, cabbage, kales and all that. He used to plant there. So yeah, so we used to come from our ridge, go down the hill, ridge thingy, you go down, and then you look for this guy on the other ridge to sell for you vegetables. So I remember I went down the ridge. It had rained, kulikuwa kumenyesha kabisa. You know how like it rains like so much, it gets flooded. Even the small rivers, they get like flooded kabisa. It's even like scary. So it had rained like a couple days ago, so we didn't think like it's gonna be flooded along the river. My grandma thought, it's safe, you can go and pick kales and spinach for dinner. So yeah, so me, I just went. I knew it was safe. It wasn't like anything bad was gonna happen. You know, you can't tell, like something bad is gonna happen sometimes. So me, I just went down. I found the river. It was like flooded, guys. The river was like really flooded. You couldn't cross to the other side. So me, I just tried to cross. I jumped. I looked for a narrow place where you can actually cross the river. So me, I just crossed to the other side. I was able to cross. It was slippery and all that, but I was able to cross. I had a paper bag so that they can put veggies inside the paper, and then I can go back. I had my paper bag and I had my money. So me, I just crossed. I jumped because that river used to be so small. Actually, it wasn't like a big river where you can have an accident or anything like that, because even when it rained, it used to be a small river. It was never like a danger to anybody. But this time it had rained so much. Kitambo used to rain so much, it gets flooded and all that. So it had rained so much that the river was now like full. But I managed to cross the other side safely. And then I went up. I looked for the guy to tuna to get me those veggies. And I paid the guy. I had my veggies. I was going back now. I was returning. I went to the river again, but this time I didn't go to the specific place I had jumped across, because we didn't have a bridge. That river is a tiny river. It's narrow, but it's kind of deep. So me, I went. I was like, no way, there's no way I'm going to like go all the way to where I had jumped, because that place was a narrow one. The place I had managed to jump, it was a narrow place. So I was like, there's no way I'm going back to jump to that place, because it was like I'm going round, and I didn't want to go round. It was a kind of longer way. I didn't want to go all that way. So me, I was just like, I'm gonna try and cross the river on this side. It was now a place, that place I was trying to cross, it was it wasn't narrow, it was broad. It was like really broad. But now, you know, the way like in the river, there are usually like these plants that usually grow along the river, you know, especially when it's raining and it's flooding. They're usually like plants that come out, and you think, now that's the safe land. It's not the river itself. So me, when I went to jump across the river, kumbe, it was those plants. They had grown. I was thinking it's dry land, and it wasn't. So when I actually had thrown my veggies across the river so that I can be able to also jump across safely. So I threw my veggies. So me, I'm trying to cross the river now. When I went jumping, when I tried jumping across the river to the other side, I slipped, because I thought I was jumping on safe land, you know, dry land. Kumbe, I was jumping on those bushes, those plant things that always grow along the river. So I slipped. And mind you, I don't know how to swim, guys. I was all alone. It was a rainy season. Nobody was actually on their land, on the shamba, on the farms. Nobody was there. Nobody was coming from that ridge, from my ridge, from the other ridge. I was all alone. So I slipped inside the river. I tried holding on to those plants, the ones that grow along the river, but I was not able to grab them. You know, they're also moist and they are ripping off. When you try to like grab them, they are ripping off. You're trying to like hold on to something, but they keep ripping and ripping. So I was like drowning, and I'm drinking that dirty water. I keep going under and up, going under and up. The river was carrying me kabisa. It was like a serious situation, a scary situation. Honestly, I recently remembered this situation happened, and I've always wondered, why do I have that fear of drowning? Each and every time I try to like go for swimming lessons, I always have that fear of drowning, and I've never really questioned why I have that fear of drowning. So me, I'm just trying to grab onto things, and they keep breaking, and I'm like drinking water now. I'm drowning. I'm trying to cry for help. Nobody is coming. Nobody is on the ridges. Nobody is down there on the river. Nobody can see me or hear me. I was all alone. Honestly, I thought I was going to die. It carried me for like, I don't know the distance, how I can say it, but the river was carrying me kabisa, and it was deep. I was trying to like go up, breathe, but now I was panicking, so I was breathing more water than I'm breathing the air. Luckily, I managed to like grab one. It was like a banana leaf and it was coming off. It was like a bent banana. So I grabbed it. I managed to grab it. Once I grabbed it, I held on to it. And then I pulled myself out of the river. I was soaked with water, dirty water. I was scared. It was cold. Oh my God, nobody was there. I was terrified. I just sat down there, waited. I was scared. I couldn't even move. I had seen death with my eyes, honestly. So I was just sitting there. I was scared, all alone. It was wet. And I never told my grandmother what had happened. I just stayed there until my clothes got a little, it was like, it got, ikakauka. My clothes dried off because I stayed there for so long. I was just terrified. I don't know even why I never told my grandma. She never even knew something happened to me. I stayed there for a long time, just seated on the shamba, just thinking. I was even shaking. I couldn't even walk. So guys, I just sat there, waited for my clothes to dry, and then I took my veggies, and then I went home. And I never told anybody. I never told even my grandma. No, even my sister didn't know. I actually told them like last month, when I remembered this thing happened to me. That's when I was like, oh my God, there was a time that this actually happened. That's why I'm always terrified of. I have the biggest fear of drowning, guys. The biggest. I've tried conquering it, trying to swim and all that, but I always have that fear of drowning. So yeah, I just went home, took the veggies. I couldn't even cook. My grandma is the one who cooked that day. I was just not myself, and I never told her. I don't know why I never told her. I was stupid. So yeah, guys, that's my story. It was a bit scary that back then because I was 16 and I didn't even know how to swim. I don't even know how to swim up today. Even today, I don't know how to swim, honestly. I'm always scared. But I'm like, this is the time to conquer my fears now. I want to actually learn how to swim and conquer that fear that I didn't even know where I came from until I realized that I almost drowned, guys. But thank God I'm still here. Oh yeah, I hope you enjoyed my story, guys. I'm trying to do more story time. I'm not a good storyteller, but I'm trying to do story times and change up things. So guys, please keep subscribing to my channel, keep watching my videos, guys. Tell me what you would like to see, what you would like me to do more. You know, give me ideas too, so that I'll try my best to do them, guys. So yeah, this was my story. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Tell me your thoughts on the comment section. Let's chat, let's get to know each other, guys. Don't be too quiet. And yeah, I love you guys for always watching, for always supporting me. Thank you guys. You're the best. And have a lovely week, and God bless. Bye bye. Mwah.